How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to do the rule tile, and I'm going to cover a single rule, a random rule, and a animated rule. But we're going to recreate our water scene that we created in previous videos. But as you can see in the background, we have a couple snowmen and trees and a sign in our corners. The water has a couple different tiles that are choose randomly. So I'm going to show you how to create the rules that you need for all your corners, your angles, your straights. We're going to go over extended neighbor, and the rule tile can get pretty involved, but we're going to go over it one bit at a time, and I hope you enjoy the video. If you liked my previous videos, if this is something that helps you, please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button, and if you have any suggestions or feedback, please let me know in the comments. Alright, so let's jump right into it, and hope you enjoy the video. In a previous video, which I will link above, we had created some animated tiles. In order to do that, we had to download this 2D Extras, and we are going to be using the 2D Extras in this video, so if you have not downloaded that, please do so. I'll put a link in the description to the file. All you need to do is zip it, drag it, and drop it into your project, and you should be good to go. Once that is done, we need you to right click in your project, go to create, tiles, rule tile. Now this rule tile is going to allow us to create huge scenes by only using one tile in our tile palette. So in order to do this, we need to find our default sprite, I should say, sorry. In my previous video, I said we're going to do a water scene, so we're going to pick this water scene here. This is going to be our default tile. So what we can do is click our tile palette up here, and all we're doing is put our new rule tile in there. And bring that back down. Let's paint with it quick. Alright, there it is. So we're going to do a square here, do a square here, here, and here. And this is just to show all the different corners and stuff like that that we're going to be focusing on. I'll do one and then fast forward through the other three just to save time. In order to do one of the corners, let's select a sprite and figure out how we're going to do it. So right now there's no rules applied, so it's going to apply it to every single tile. Okay, so we want to only be in this corner here. So what are some rules? Let's look. So there's a tile to the right, so let's say there's a tile to the right. Do you see? So now all the tiles that don't have a tile to the right don't apply, so now our default tile is now applying. What else is another rule? There's a tile to the bottom. Alright, so now we add a tile, and all tiles that don't have one now default. Another rule is there is no tile to the left, so let's create a rule saying that. And again, all tiles that have a tile to the left no longer apply. And to finish it off, we'll say there's no tile to the top. So now only the two upper left angles have the tile. So I'm going to create 3 more. Okay, so our outer corners are done. Now we're going to focus on our inner corner. So let's take an inner corner. Let's take this one, and we need to find out where is it going to place. We want it to place right here. So again, we're going to take our rules. So there is a tile on all sides except for here, right? So what we want to keep our rules as simple as possible because we don't want them to overlap or override each other, which I'll explain later on in the video. We don't want it. We know that there's no tile supposed to be here, right? So we added that, and we still have a couple that fall underneath that. But what else? Let's say there's a tile here, and we got rid of some more. We still have that. put a tile here, and there we go. Now we only have one, because this is the only tile that applies. Okay, so I'm going to create the other three. Okay, so our inner corner tiles are complete, but we still have to worry about our sides. So let's create one for our top. And again, it's filled. So we only want them to show up on the top where there's nothing to the top, right? So let's put that down. And that should be all you need to get this rule to work, because the only time this is ever going to happen is when there is no tile to the top. However, if you look at my tiles, I have more than one that could fit here. So let's put that one there. So how can we use both? We're going to use what's called a random tile. So our output is single. We're going to change it to random. And random, we only want 3. And I'll explain that in a second. So I'm going to change our default to that. Our first one, sorry, to that. And our second one, I'm going to use the same one again, because I don't want this one to show up as often. So basically, putting the same one in twice is going to have the system choose that one twice as much versus the other one. So it has a 2 in 3 chance versus a half chance. Excuse me, I need some coffee. I bought some new coffee, and it is terrible. I need to find some good coffee, but I also have to finish off this terrible coffee that I bought already. Forgive me. So now our top side is done. I'll create the other 3 here in a second. Now we need to worry about our inside. So we're going to create another one, and currently it's using our default. But there are several other ones that I want to use, and I'm not exactly sure how many. Now I changed the size to 5, and so it's already randomly selecting tiles, but there's no sprites, and that's why you have those openings like that. So when you're doing it and you have openings, it's because there's a sprite missing. So let's look at some other ones. What else do we have? We have this, I don't know if it could be oil or just dark areas. Kind of reminds me of the old Warcraft games when you had to go put an oil somewhere, oil rig on it. And we got our ice float, and what else do we got? We have bigger ice chunk, and do we have anything else? I don't think so. I'm going to add another default just to kind of add more emptiness. Okay, so it's coming together rather well. However, if you look over here, we have this nice snow edge around the ice. So how do we get that? We're going to create another one here, and we're going to find that. This is going to be the top piece. So keep scrolling down here, and here it is. And just like the other one, there was 2. So we're going to make it random. Where it is down here. And we grab another one of those, and then we're going to grab that one. And so we could put it down as this, but since we already have this rule, we're going to have to move it up. Because since they're both the same rule, whatever comes first in this line, in the rule set, is going to happen. Now, if we move this up, it will now override. However, it doesn't look right, and we want it to be up here, right? What we need to do is we need to hit this extend neighbor button, which will allow us to say, hey, I want this tile here to show up if there's a tile here, but there is no tile here. So now what it's doing is creating our edge here. It's saying, hey, there's a tile here, but there is no tile here. And this one is saying there is no tile here. And that's how it's going to do its rule set. Now I'm going to create ones for all the other sides and angles and fix the ones that need to get fixed. So enjoy. Okay, now that the rule tile is complete, I'll show you where the beauty lies in using it. So let's paint our area from last time here. And we need to delete those. And that should create our area from last time. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, I'm sorry, it's doing that because of the rule tile. So now if we hit play, if you see, it looks, you know, our border's the same, everything looks good, but it's all made with the rule tile. There's one other thing I want to show you. What happens when you add objects to your rules? So let's go back to our main, let's turn that back to 5, and go to our rule tile, assets, rule tile. Our corners with snow, we can add a object. Now let's look at our objects. Let's add a snowman. So now, every time one of these tiles appear, it's going to place a snowman. And on this one, let's try, let's put our tree there. It's a little big, but you get the idea. And let's place a pine tree on that one. And let's place a sign on that one. Now another thing you could do is add a default game object here. So if I take the ice spike, and I guess all our rules override everything because so if I created a rule here and everything overrides everything, so it's never gonna place. There we go. Okay, so now you got ice spikes, but we don't want that. We want none. And that's pretty much how you use the rule tile. Let's take one and let's turn it into an animated tile quick, just for the sake of the video, and I'll show you. And let's just pick one of the inner angles. Okay, let's do this one here, and we're going to change it from single to animation. We're going to size 6, and we need to find our fires. And so now, every time you have this inner angle, it will play this animated fire. And let's up our speed to 10, because I think that's what we had before. And maximize on play, and hit play and see what happens. And there you go. You can see that the background animation is gone. That's a downside to it. If you're doing background, you don't want to use animation unless it's like a water tile. That's probably the only thing you're going to want to do with the animation tile. For background or for your ground tiles or water, probably work better with animating like a stream, and then there is like waterfall tiles. I mean, any animation will work. It's just, what is your background going to look like? And as you can see here, our background is kind of messed up. I forgot to turn our light down, so I'm going to erase this animation tile. Let me find it, and we're going to go back to our single and choose our, what was it? That was the bottom, Snowland, color 3 no space, I believe, and then it was our bottom right one. Then we're going to take our lights, our global light, we're going to put that back down to 0.25, and we're going to play it on maximum and look at our creation. And there you have it. Our rule tile is working, our lights still work, our fire animation is still playing pretty good, and it looks a little odd having fire in a snowman. You can place objects under certain rules. You can place random amount of tiles that Unity will pick for you. You place animation tiles. Those are the only 3 tiles that you can place in a rule tile. However, with the extended neighbor, you can make rules for just about anything, which is nice and helpful depending on what you're trying to do. As long as you have the sprites for it, you can do it. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. I hope it helps. Fun learning about the different tile types that you can use. If you liked the video, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to think what would be a good video to work on for next week, but I can't think of anything right now. So if you have any suggestions, or if you need help with anything 2D related, I'm sticking 2D for now, please write down in the comments what you would like to see a tutorial on. Maybe I could start adding a player character, create some scripts, because we haven't created a single script yet, and we're 4 or 5 videos in. Thanks for watching, and you guys have a good day. Bye.